Welcome to today's lessons, that is mathematics. We have approximation and errors as our topic of today. So in approximation and errors, we will have the first subtopic. The first subtopic will be errors in rounding off. When you round off numbers, errors occur. So we look at errors in number 1 will be errors in rounding off and truncation. That is when you truncate. When you truncate, there will be errors that will occur. So we look at that one. Number 2, we will define some specific terms, which we will define something called absolute, relative, and percentage error. So we'll have absolute, relative, and percentage error. Then number 3, we will look at propagation of errors. And in propagation of errors, we will start with addition. And number 2, we will have multiplication. That is propagation of errors when you multiply digit. Number 3, we will have subtraction. So propagation of errors when you subtract. And number last, we will have division. That is in propagation of errors. So this topic will majorly concern on rounding off and truncation, absolute, relative, and percentage error. Then we will have propagation of errors in addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. Starting with the first one, when you round off, so we start with number 1. When you are told to round off a digit, for example, 395.4 to the nearest hundreds. When we round off this number, we will have the nearest hundreds. That means we will have 400 because we look at 9. It's in the 10th digit to give us 400. Now the error that will occur in this rounding off will be 400 minus the original 395.4. That one gives, so subtract 400 minus 395.4 will give around 4.6. This is the error. So in rounding off, the error occurs when you round off a number to the nearest hundred. So error is the new minus original. That is in rounding off, the new number minus original number. This one is the same when you truncate. So for example, you are told to truncate 296 to 2 significant figures. So truncate 296 to 2 significant figures. So when we truncate, we cut off. So we count. We have 1, 2, 3. For us to remain with 2, we cut off 6. That means we remain with 29. So truncation is probably you cut off or you ignore. So when you ignore, we will have the error as new. The error will occur. That error occurs when you subtract the new 29 minus the original 296. That is how error occurs in truncation. So truncation is to cut off. If you are told to truncate 20.2, you cut off 0.2, you remain with 20. Then you calculate the error. That is truncation. Number 3 is for us to understand what is an absolute error. So 3, we will look at the absolute error. So number 3 is to look at the absolute error.